You know, we haven't had a video on this channel in a while, have we? Let's change that. What's good, YouTube? Water Ninja Frog here, and yes, this is not a prank. This is not fake. I am uploading again on this channel. There has been something on my mind that I had to talk about ever since the reveal of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and it's bothered me for the longest time. Today, we're going to talk about the Elite Four of Kanto, and we're going to discover why one of them is a fraud at what he trains for. Let's get into the video. The unspoken rule of Pokemon is that an Elite Four member specializes in one type, just like the gym leaders. In Generations 1 and 2, though, we had a severe lack of just quantity of Pokemon to sometimes fill out that person's team. So in today's video, we are going to go through the Elite Four of Generation 1 and show each member's team. And I'm going to explain to you why that team uses a specific Pokemon and how it matches with the Pokemon they're usually specialized with, and how Bruno bucks that trend and has no reason to buck the trend. Let's start with Lorelei, the water and ice type user. She's an ice type user, but most Pokemon are water types because almost every ice type in Generation 1 is water ice. Her three main Pokemon are Dugong, Cloyster, and Lapras. And Jinx is her other ice type. So what Pokemon did they give her to fill out that fifth slot? Slowbro, a Pokemon that shares both its types with members of Lorelei's team. The water typing is shared, and the psychic typing is shared with Jinx. So that checks out. They could have given her Articuno for an actual ice type, but it's a legendary Pokemon, so we're gonna skip Bruno for now, because Bruno is the whole topic of this video. We're gonna go straight to Agatha. Now, Agatha is a ghost type trainer. She uses Gengar and Haunter, but in Generation 1, Gengar's line is the only ghost-type Pokemon. So what did he do? They gave her poison-type Pokemon to match with Gengar's poison typing, like Golbat and Arbok. So that still checks out. And then the same case with Agatha is the same case with Lance. He is a Dragon-type trainer, but just like Gengar, Dragonite's line is the only Dragon-type Pokemon in Generation 1. So what did they do? They gave him two Dragonairs and his ace being a Dragonite. Then they gave him Aerodactyl and Gyarados, two Pokemon that fit the trend of dragon-looking Pokemon to a T. That's perfectly fine, as long as you make the team kind of like go together and fits it well. When you have no other option to do it, by all means. My argument there is don't make a type with just one Pokemon, but it's the first generation. I'll let it slide. But I got a severe problem with Bruno because there's no reason for Bruno to have his team. His team in Generation 1 and the Generation 3 remakes, he has three fighting types: Machamp, Hitmonlee, and Hitmonchan. And then he has two Onyxes. Now, they say he's a rock and fighting type trainer, but he's clearly a fighting type trainer. Brock is the rock type gym leader. Bruno is the Elite Four fighting type trainer. My problem with Bruno is there's no excuse for him to have two Onyxes. There are two fighting type Pokemon in Generation 1 that he just doesn't use. Poliwrath and Primeape. Those two are just completely ignored by Bruno, and he doesn't use them. Primeape, I think, fits Bruno's design perfectly with his little anklets, and he's just a fighter. He's a fighting type Pokemon that his fighting type trainer just chooses not to use. Same with Poliwrath. Poliwrath would actually give him pretty good type coverage. He can learn like ice moves and stuff like that. Then again, his Hitmonchan does have Ice Punch, but still, it breaks the mold in that Game Freak had the Pokemon to make him a fully fighting type trainer, but they chose not to. But now thinking about it, maybe they wanted it to be a cooler design, and since every Elite Four member in Generation 1 didn't have all one type, they decided to keep that trend with Bruno. But I'm still sticking by that Bruno, he should have had Primeape and Poliwrath. But then we have this weird case where Bruno is the only returning Elite Four member in Generation 2. He is one of the, I think he still is the only returning, besides Lance being the champion, spoiler alert, he is the only returning Elite Four member ever. So what do they do in Generation 2 to improve his team? Or they got rid of one of his Onyxes and gave him Hitmontop. And that fits with Bruno perfectly, because he already has the other two Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee, so adding Hitmontop makes it perfect. But then they still let him keep an Onyx. And this makes me even more mad because earlier, Will, the Psychic type Elite Four member, has all 5 Psychic type Pokemon. And then the rest of the Elite Four do not have the same type of Pokemon. And then the problem with Bruno too, Onyx could have easily been replaced with Poliwrath once again, which I kind of see the problem in there in this generation because Chuck used Poliwrath. Well, then give Bruno either Primeape yet again Or Heracross. They added Heracross in Generation 2. Why not use Heracross? That would have made so much more sense than Onix, because Heracross is the bug typing. You can give it Mega Horn at an early level, and then that takes rid of any Psychic type Pokemon that you're using to beat his fighting types. It's perfect. But no, they gave him Onix yet again for no reason whatsoever. And that is why Bruno, to me is a fraud. Because there are plenty of Pokemon for Bruno to have a full fighting type team like he's supposed to, and he just doesn't. He likes Onix. He breaks the rules of Pokemon. And before you guys start talking to me about how it's designed to beat flying type Pokemon, I get it. If he's just a fighting type trainer, he's completely washed by a flying type Pokemon. But that's the whole point of Pokemon. The Elite Four, each trainer specializes in one type. It's the gimmick. You can't just break the rule and just have that Pokemon be a different type. The whole point of the Elite Four is for you to go in prepared ahead of time and just be prepared to fight his one type of Pokemon. They are harder gym leaders. The champion is where you should not have a single type. The champion is the true fight. The champion is where you're supposed to have a challenge and use all your Pokemon at once and match different types. With the Elite Four, they have specialties for a reason. I know this video is kind of short, but I've been thinking about that for a long time, and let me know what you guys think in the comments if I'm right, if I'm dumb. I know it makes sense for him to have a rock type Pokemon to beat the flying types that could run through his team. If you specialize in a type, specialize in that type. Otherwise, you're not a fighting type trainer. All the other gym leaders have to follow that rule. Why don't the Elite Four have to? In my personal opinion, if you have the fighting type Pokemon to use them. There's no reason for Bruno to not have used Primate, Poliwrath, especially in Gen 2, Heracross on his team. Thank you guys so much for watching, and like I said earlier, please comment down below your opinions on what I've had to say, and make sure you guys subscribe, because videos are going to come slowly coming back to this channel. Not in the usual stuff I do, but I still want you guys to watch, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And make sure you ring the bell for notifications, because YouTube is YouTube. Bye guys.